Good morning, everybody. We are back again. It's myself, the Saubrey boys, Walefatshe, together with last born, Tshepang Kgole. We are doing the show called the Big Art Solution Sports Program this morning. Tshepang, welcome to the show and greet the viewers.
Yes, good morning to the viewers out there, and good morning to you also, Mr. Shawalara. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tshepang. The good news is Ntwentle is out of hospital. He came out yesterday. He's back at home. Yeah, he has been there for too long. And then, I spoke to the wife last night, and I spoke to him again yesterday. So, yeah, man, we wish him all the best. He should recover so that he can join us soon. Sheikhs probably might have taken the kid to the games because sometimes they play the games. So, but I haven't heard from him. We're supposed to be together, but I know that sometimes the boy plays earlier than expected. Tshepang, there are, we saw what happened towards the end of the transfer window when it was about to close. It was a whole lot of issue around Sithebe and AmaZulu and Kaizer Chiefs. We understand that Sithebe has chosen Kaizer Chiefs. So I don't know what's your take about that.
Yes, we all know that he's been on the radar for Kaizer Chiefs for quite some time, and we actually thought that he would be actually making his way to Naturena during the summer,
Mm.
But a lot, I think, went wrong in a matter of an agreement between the two clubs, I could say, because it's alleged that an agreement was made or was already made for Sithebe to join Kaizer Chiefs. So we don't know what happened, as the matter is still ongoing even now, but he's still with AmaZulu, so he hasn't left the club as of yet. So um, we don't know what may be the holdup in regarding that. But we all thought that the matter was resolved and he'll be joining Kaizer Chiefs during the summer. So the boy is still with AmaZulu at the moment. And Benny McCarthy, as it did say that he will use Sithebe for his own personal use and gain in the remainder of the season, saying that he needs the player. So I really don't know what happened to that matter, but maybe you can explain it further, Mr. Shawala, in regarding that transfer.
No, apparently, um, sorry, apparently, Moroka Swallows wanted him. No, Mamelodi Sundowns, Orlando Pirates, and apparently Chippa United also inquired about him, according to his agent, but he chose Kaizer Chiefs. All right. Um, so those are the news that we pick up. According to the agent, what they did, they gave AmaZulu first option, okay, to renew, and then they wanted more money. And the argument of the agent is Sithebe is getting older. He's 29. So he was feeling that it's time that he should make money while now he is at this age, all right, because sooner he won't be playing. So AmaZulu were not prepared to meet the demands of Sithebe. Now, the bone of contention is when did he sign the pre-contract? Or has he signed a pre-contract? That's another thing. So, according to Mr. Zungu, the president for the team, the boys signed a pre-contract in December. which that is the case, and it would be wrong because the transfer window opened in January. But according to the agent, he never signed the contract, the pre-contract in December. Instead, in January, he started communicating with Kaizer Chiefs when they realized that they can't get what they want from AmaZulu. Now, the Kaizer Chiefs apparently wanted to offer AmaZulu 2 players, all right? But AmaZulu did not want to hear anything about that. They just want cash, all right? So that's where the problem, emanated. So I don't know what's your take.
Yeah, in regarding that matter, yeah, it's a very difficult one, to say. Um, but I think one person obviously needs to be accountable in regarding this matter because if that's the case, but the player was supposed to leave the club at the end of the day. So I feel like also Kaizer Chiefs probably they might had the power to string something along in order for them to actually sign Sithebe, to be honest. I don't think that this signing as well was quite of difficult for them because the intentions were there. So what I'm trying to say is Chiefs as well have the powers to actually make the transfer go through, So there's nothing that the player can do but just to wait and see whether he goes or he doesn't go. At the end of the day, that's why I'm saying that one person needs to be accountable for this delay, I guess.
The good news is AmaZulu, they have an experienced former player in Benny McCarthy, and now he's a coach. I saw a level of maturity from Benny. Remember, as a player, he understands the situation very well because at some point, you as a player, you want to move on for one reason or another. So Benny said, Sithebe is a grown man. He is entitled to make his own decision. And Benny was calling for sanity to prevail. And he was saying, you know what? Sorry, emotions aside, let's deal with these things like, adults. The player is still our player. Let's use him for the remainder. Although Benny did came out to say he understands the AmaZulu point of view because this is not happening for the first time. Even last year in July, they groom a player. What is his name again?
Mabiliso.
Mabiliso. They groomed the player. All of a sudden, the player is now matured. The player is Kaizer Chiefs came and then snatched the player. And then Benny said, I understand where AmaZulu are coming from. It's not nice, all right? But he also argues and say, look, let's give him a very good send-off, all right? Unlike making it difficult for him. But at the same time, I'm asking myself, why Kaizer Chiefs did not give them the money? Maybe the price was too much because we are not even told how much they wanted so that we can be able to gauge rather than offering them players. This boils down to Kaizer Chiefs always looking for players who are free, not wanting to spend the money. I don't know. What's your take about that?
Yeah, I know it's true. That's why I'm saying that if Chiefs really wanted him, as much as they're saying that they want him, I don't think they were going to struggle in terms of getting him. They had the powers, they have the powers to actually sign Sithebe and not be in the mess that they're in right now. But it's good that AmaZulu still wants to use the boy. Well, they have to. Sithebe is one of the, I could say, one of the hottest players, midfielders actually, currently in the DStv Premiership this season. So you cannot sideline a player like that because you're trying to prove a point or whatever. No, Benny, it's very matured of Coach Benny to actually think like that and say that they'll use him for the remainder of the season and give him a good send off, which is very bold and mature of the coach to say that, you know, and also to give the player confidence that he can still play and not make him frustrated. You know, he cannot be frustrated at this point, but just to prove himself and prove his worth. You know, to Kaizer Chiefs as well, that I'm worth the money that maybe whatever amount that they had put in on the table, you know, in order for him to leave. So yeah, I think this gives him a chance to actually prove his worth more. And anything can happen. He might not even go to Kaizer Chiefs if it happens at the end of the season, but maybe go to another bigger, better club. So when you let go of a player like this, most of the time, it comes back to haunt you. You know, he might go somewhere else, and then you regret not taking the chance with him.
What I find very interesting, Stuart Baxter came out and say, you know, admitting that there are people who are now really in charge in local football, referring to Mamelodi Sundowns. He said we can't compete with Mamelodi Sundowns when it comes to the transfer windows. Well, I don't know, but my understanding is Chiefs has a lot of sponsors, to be honest. So I'm sure they can afford any money that they can be charged for Sithebe if they really want him. And what I also find very odd, I heard Mr. Zungu saying, because he's insisting, he doesn't want him to play. Hence, Benny McCarthy had a meeting with him and the board and tried to bring some sense into the whole thing and brings sanity. Mr. Zungu says he's the third richest, according to reports, media reports. He's the third richest football owner after Rupert and Patrice, Dr. Patrice Motsepe. Now he's the third. If that is the case, the player wants so much. Why you couldn't give him the player the money that he wants? That's another question that I'm asking. All right. If you really need the player so much, because I think it's fair for a player of Sithebe's caliber to say, look, I'm getting old. Sooner or later, I won't be there. We know what's happening with the former players. They find it difficult, you know, to survive after football. So while the you know the rain is still shining, or while you still have it, make sure that you reap as much as you can, so that next time when you move on, you know what's happening. So it's a little bit puzzling from both sides. Kaizer Chiefs, we know Kaizer Chiefs, they're a big team, they're a big brand. They can afford if they really want it, all right? The same with AmaZulu, if really Mr. Zungu claims to be what he is, so why can't he give the player what he wants, all right? So that the player. But what is interesting is the question that other teams were looking for him, your Mamelodi Sundowns and so on, but the boy chose Kaizer Chiefs, you know? Yeah, so I don't know. So, and the funny side of the entire thing, no one is telling us how much Sithebe wanted. And then how much has Kaizer Chiefs offered, apart from them offering players plus cash, how much AmaZulu wanted to charge, so that we can be able to assess and then to say, you know, was it worth it or what? So those are some of the things that worries me. And then again, while I'm still there, I saw a number of Chiefs, former players coming out admitting that Mamelodi Sundowns, you know, they are untouchable. I saw Dr. Kumalo when they were launching Mamelodi Sundowns YouTube saying Mamelodi Sundowns is the best. It shocked me to see it coming out from Dr. Khumalo's mouth. Not only Dr. and then Rudolf Siale too said the same thing, according to reports. So what's your take, last one?
No, it's very true. You know, when I was thinking about it the last time, I'm just analyzing how South African teams are operating compared to Mamelodi Sundowns. It's very poor because you get teams like Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs, SuperSport United, AmaZulu, all of these teams, they're owned by local millionaires, I could say, even, you know, black owned mostly. Okay, some Cape Town City, okay, yes, it's not black owned, but the club on its own has money, has the resources, but they are failing to compete against Mamelodi Sundowns. I don't understand why. They have the resources, they have the money. Why aren't they also signing players the way Mamelodi Sundowns is signing players? The reason why players go to Mamelodi Sundowns is because Mamelodi Sundowns is willing to go the extra mile in getting what they want. So I don't get why do teams mostly, that's why I'm quoting on these two teams actually, Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs. They've got all the resources, most sponsorships within the league, but they are failing to actually sign good players. They can't go pound to pound with the likes of Mamelodi Sundowns in terms of signing players. I just don't understand why. I mean, the window was just open even right now, but they haven't made even one signing. Why aren't they pumping in money within the development structures as Mamelodi Sundowns is doing right now? It's proving, it's showing that they are doing a far much better job than all of these teams around. So, what's the point of them having all of those resources and not using them? That's why even former legends of Orlando Pirates or even of Kaizer Chiefs will come out and say Mamelodi Sundowns is the best team in South Africa and by far, because it's true, it's evident because of the results and based on the structure and what they are doing within the club. Why aren't big teams following in that footsteps? In those footsteps. I mean, just to be brief, I'll give an example. PSG wasn't a good team in France. Didn't have the money, didn't have the resources. Your Monacos, your Lille, your Nice were dominating in French football. But French PSG came and they got the resources, they got the money, they started pumping in money within the team, and look where it is right now. It's paying off. They're one of the best teams in France right now. Same applies to Manchester City. They were a nobody. It was just the team. Yes, it's big in Manchester, but the club started, the owners started pumping in money within the club. Look at them right now. Same applies to your Real Madrid. So if big teams overseas can show that with the money and the resources you have, and they want to compete within the leagues and within the European stages, they're actually proving us, they're showing us that it's possible. Why aren't big teams in Africa doing that? I mean, if Chiefs and Pirates would do the same, they would compete also amongst the greatest teams in Africa, the likes of Al Ahly as well. You understand? And be amongst the greatest teams also and join Mamelodi Sundowns and just dominate. But I don't know, they are failing to see the vision. And that is why Mamelodi Sundowns will keep on dominating in South Africa, because they know what they have to do and they're utilizing all that they have at their disposal.
But to be fair enough to Kaizer Chiefs, Kaizer Jr. came out and say, they just signed not long, right? And what they did, their approach was, instead of signing new players, they decided to concentrate on renewing the contract of the existing players, especially the young ones, so that they build for the future. Because his argument, I think it makes a lot of sense. We have just bought, right? We haven't seen the results. Now we want to go out and buy again. We'll end up having a bloated team and then being unable to analyze where to sort things up and so on. Now, he said, now is the chance for the technical team to work with the current players and see what's happening. And I'm sure Kaizer Chiefs, that is why they were prepared to buy Sithebe. And then yes, Man United, they spend more money than any other team. And you can't say they're dominating, they're struggling, all right? Not only Man United, even the PSG example. PSG are not clear favorite. Yes, in terms of domestic, they are doing well, but in terms of Champions League, they are found to be wanting. They've just bought the best player in the world, but they're struggling, and we are not sure whether they'll win the Champions League. That's another thing, all right? So sometimes not only money gives answer. Here's Leicester City. Leicester City, they recruit well, very well, and then they don't spend a lot of money, but look where they are. It's for the past 5 years now. Remember, they came from the lower league up to where they end up winning the league. So we'll see. You know what? Let the best team, show us. But let's allow this debate to go on. Let's hear what people are saying, and then in terms of comments, and then and then I saw Mangoba Mniti boasting that if they didn't sleep, they could have snatched Vinicius Junior and Diaz from Brazil. Very interesting, very, very interesting. So this is how they boast as Mamelodi Sundowns that they can get anyone. So last one, I think so far we have done a lot as far as this topic is concerned. I think let's talk again later.
Thank you very much.
Just bid the viewers farewell.
Yeah, no, thank you very much to you and to the viewers out there for listening during the part 1 of the show. Looking forward to seeing you guys very soon.
Thank you.